The city market certainly has changed in the past several years. Our mission is really to perpetuate and preserve Indiana's agricultural, architectural, and historical heritage. It's interesting because in the mid-90s we hosted some fun events in the catacombs that were private events, and guests at those events said, "What an interesting, great space you have here." And it really generated a lot of interest as buzz kind of hit the streets. And then during Super Bowl, we thought, why not open up this kind of a hidden underground gem? And what we found through that was that we got some out-of-towners who visited, but it was the in-towners, the Indianapolis residents, who really wanted to know. Some of them didn't know anything about the catacombs, and they had probably sat on West Plaza of City Market and had lunch and listened to music, and finding out that they were sitting right on top of such a hidden gem the whole time, they were especially intrigued by that. And based on that success, we opened it up to public tours.
I've had a few individuals who have come through who may have thought that the catacombs were like the catacombs that you find in Rome or Paris, where the human remains are found. And so I always hasten to point out that while that is a dictionary definition of the word, this is not that kind of catacomb. An important event occurred in the 1880s. Stephen D. Tomlinson, who was a prosperous Indianapolis druggist, willed money to construct a public building. Consideration was given by city leaders about how the money would be used, and eventually they decided to have a dual-purpose building with a market on the first floor and an auditorium on the second floor. In 1958, Tomlinson Hall burned on January 30th. More than 2 million gallons of water were used in an attempt to quench the blaze, but they were unsuccessful. So a few months later, Tomlinson had to be removed. They did not, however, remove the catacombs. We know less about how the catacombs were used than we would like. We believe that equipment, chairs used in relation to Tomlinson Hall were probably sold here. We know that in 1912 there was a period of intense cold, and so the mayor had the catacombs fumigated and invited homeless to come down and sleep here. In mid-century, the area was used by the police department as a shooting range. The area of the catacombs is a large space. It's about 20,000 square feet, which is a bit less than half an acre. There are 140 columns down here. Some are limestone, like these more substantial columns. Others are columns made of brick. The basic construction technique is barrel vault, which is a technique that was used by the Egyptians and was extensively used by the Romans. Let me mention that about 3/4 of the catacomb area dates back to 1886. And so when we walk through this portion of the catacombs, we can feel like the area in which we're encompassed dates back to 1886. I think people are impressed with the feel of the place, the ambience, and sometimes by the spookiness than they are by anything I've said. It's a fun space to be in.
It's interesting because people are always putting great ideas as to what they would do or what they would like to see the catacombs kind of be developed as. And it really talks about and energizes thought and innovation for the city and this property in particular. But we're working with the city on that as well. So stay tuned.